All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for popping on for our new Monday night team call. We have been doing Tuesday nights for years and years, and I think it's always good to have a fresh start. And I'm personally excited to do Mondays because it's the beginning of the week and we can just get fired up and have a game plan and have intention and just kind of know exactly where we're headed and what we're going to be up to. So before I get into a system that I'm super excited about to really be able to help you all identify where you are in this business. If you feel like you're walking or jogging or running, and also how your sponsor or upline or leader could be supporting you. I just want to talk a little bit about celebration. And fortunately, so many of you were able to attend, but there's many of you that were not. And I want to just bring you up to speed because this company is about to go into wicked momentum, where we haven't been in years. Like the next wave of Isagenix excitement is coming. We're going to call it the ISA tsunami. And I just want to make sure that there's nobody who's like a little bit left behind or a little bit like, what are they all excited about or what's going on? So quickly, we've got some great new products, and I just want to make sure everybody's aware of them. And if you were there, hopefully you've ordered them, you've shared them, you've sampled them. And if you weren't there, take advantage and learn them. But the ISA Kids Super Smoothie, I put the video in preview and in cleansers of Dr. Plant, who's our new chief science officer, and he's with the kids in the little elementary school, it looks like, and he's kind of talking about the advantages of the omegas that come in fish, and the kids are like I'm not gonna eat the fish, right, and all the veggies, but then they like slurp the mess out of these smoothies. It's in strawberry and cookies and cream, and it's delivering all of that good nutrition. Remember that these are snack size, so they're not necessarily like a full meal replacement. They're formulated for kids, so this could be something that you add fruit to, or you add veggies to, or you add peanut butter to. But we're just trying to say, like, here's the foundation of kids' health, because today's day and age and all the processed food and fast food and packaged foods, we're missing the foundational food items, which is what's in the kids' super smoothie. So if anybody had it or your kids have had it, type in the chat, like share with other people, like what your kids are thinking about it, what they're saying about it, if it's as good as all the hype. I honestly have not tried it yet. I didn't even make it into the store in Nashville. So I've ordered it because I want to have it. But if you guys have sampled it, describe it. I know there's some great Facebook Lives going on there. And I would encourage you, for those of you that do have kids, do a fun little like kid taster live on your wall, do it into our group pages. Remember, the people you've added, they're gonna get that notification, when you're posting more and everything. So look, Shauna's saying the kids love it, half the bag is gone. Jen says Lexi love it, Alex says the kids love it. Tony's 14-year-old is obsessed with it apparently. So do some cute lives or Instagram stories and just really, really share that. One of the things that Isagenix is really evolving into is some kid-friendly products, as we're a family-oriented company, and this was the first of more to come. So hopefully that's a hit. The greens have been reformulated. I don't want to go through the ins and outs of that. They are going to taste different. They're going to smell different, but they are now USDA certified organic. They have a non-GMO label on there. There's only 30 calories in a serving, 0 grams of sugar. It's a good source of fiber and iron, and it's plant-based, so it's suitable for all vegan diets. So make sure we're teaching people about that. You guys, it's also grain-free. So some of the veggies in there, we've got the kale, the spinach, the turmeric, the chlorella, spirulina, but it's grain-free. Our other ones were not, had wheatgrass in it and some other things. So anyone who needs to make sure they're avoiding grains, that's going to be great to them. My absolute favorite of all the new products, and you guys can chime in on the chat if you're with me, but that milk chocolate peanut butter Iso-Delight is better than a Reese's peanut butter cup, in my opinion. Like, it has the same texture, but without the chemicals and not super sweet. Ashley was like my BFF because she had a box and she kept sitting next to me. I'm like, can I have another one? Can I have another one? I think I owe her like a whole box, but you guys can see our chat just going bananas. The texture is like the bomb. Like, it smells like it feels like it tastes like it, and you all need to order this. And this could be something you could literally just like blow up your business teaching people about the peanut butter Iso-Delight. There should be no reason why people don't cleanse with this. If you think about people that have cravings and a sweet tooth, I know not everybody loved the dark chocolate or the dark chocolate mint. This is like a win. It's so delicious. The plant-based mini pack, you guys, this is one of our like servings where we're putting together the shakes in the greens and just trying to bundle some of our vegetarian options. To take a peek at that in the back office. We do have the dairy-free now in a strawberry flavor. So we still have vanilla chai, we still have chocolate, but now we have strawberry, which is another great flavor. In that plant-based mini pack is the greens, ionics, the plant-based shakes, and also the lemon oil, because that goes really good in the shakes. So if you're just looking for new ways to connect with people and new ways to share Isagenix, just make sure you're kind of staying on top of the new products and the new ways to introduce people to Isagenix, so they don't just think that we are the same company and the same products from 17 years ago. Sound good? You guys on board? Okay, who's ready to talk about the business and the 90-day game plan? Like, I love the new products. And before I transition, I will just tell you this. With Dr. Plant, we are on a mission as a company for so much innovation, for so much cutting edge nutritional product coming down the pipeline. There's one that's in the works right now that I'm going to give you one keyword, and this is all I can tell you: focus. But it is going to like break the nutritional like pipeline that Isagenix is like breaking ground on. There's like talk of new energy drinks. There's talks of new CBD products. So the company is going. Like, Isagenix has done their part with new promotions, adding money to the compensation plan, new trips, new incentives. Isagenix has done their part of just matching market trends and innovating new products. So now we got to do our part and work our business and hustle and make Isagenix just that much more successful, and ourselves, by working really hard. Do you guys agree? Does that sound okay? Okay, awesome. So let's talk about the 90-day game plan. Because of celebration and because of the things that are coming out, there's a new interactive video on the IsaTools app. I don't want to spend a ton of time looking and talking about it. Go to IsaTools. You can see it. You can see how you can plug in different pictures and videos. For those of you that had a celebration ticket, if you've never bought the Isagenix social media design, that is now a free trial is available to you. The Isa Life Success Plan, you either had it in your backpack or you can download it from isagenixbusiness.com. Just go Isa Life Success Manual. You can print off and download the PDF. There's new trips, the new recognition retreat. So we still have like the Elevate to Executive, the 2-star and above, but now the 3 to 7-star retreat. So take a peek at that. You know, be like, I'm going to Sedona, I'm going to Tahoe. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go in to isagenix.com, click on contest and promotions. All of it's updated. And I can tell you right now, I'm on a run for Tahoe with quite a few people on this team. Like, let's get as many people as we can there, or to Sedona. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And some of the promotions that were launched right before celebration were extended. So that is that every single product, every single initial order, there's a 10% cash PIB, product introductory bonus, on whatever the BV was. These don't double, they're not necessarily qualifying, but if someone gets started on 75 BV, that person's gonna get $7.50, right? That person gets started on 91 BV, they're gonna get $9.10. That was extended through New Year's kickoff, plus the 40 is the new 20. So it used to be that every time you created a consultant, you earned $100 up to the first 20 people. So every time one of your personally enrolled found their 2, we've extended that to 40. So if you've only created 8 consultants in your Isagenix career, well, you've got 32 more that they're going to pay you for doing that. If you've created, 40, but you've only been paid on 20, they're going to pay you for the additional 20. So no matter how few or how many consultants, everybody is able to earn $100 for their first 40. So anything that you've been paid on is deducted. Everything else left over to 40 is going to be available to you. And just kind of know that. And the Crystal Consultant promotion was also extended. And that means that when someone goes from customer to associate, they've got 30 days to convert. If they find their 2 people within those first 30 days of becoming an associate, they earn $150 instead of $50. So Isagenix added that $100 to those first 30 days because they know that people are more likely to share in the very beginning than any other time, right? Like when they first do a cleanse day, they feel like unicorn sparkles have, been oozed all over them, or a Christmas tree lit up inside of them, whatever that is, they're most likely to share. So we've got to do our job and making sure we're telling people about that and we're telling people that they can earn that 150 plus double PIBs and everything else in the first 30 days. Sound good? Okay, so the 90-day game plan. You guys, I love this. This is like my favorite time of year. Coming out of Celebration and coming out of NYKO, everybody's fired up. I want to just review a few things, and I want to see the chat. So if you're comfortable, use the chat. Let's keep everybody kind of engaged here and chatting about what's going on. But last night I put a post up, or yesterday I put a post up of when you're getting ready for the 90-day game plan, one of the first things you need to know is your why. So Tony's asking me about the peach cleanse permanent. I don't know, but the rumor on the streets is that there's 10 different cleanse flavors that are going to be dripped as seasonals. So we've done a lot of like seasonal shakes. Apparently there's going to be a lot more seasonal cleanses. I don't know that for certainty. That's the rumor. I'm excited about it. I know people have tried other flavors. So even if peach isn't coming back permanently, I think there's new things on the horizon to get excited about. But back to this. I had said, like, you got to know your why. You have to know what it is that you do this business. And so I shared from stage, when I first built my Isagenix business in 2013, I was trying to get out of debt and get back on my feet. I just wanted to furnish an apartment, And today when I think about residual income and what it does when I'm able to go spend time with my dad, or the retirement we're building for my mom, or because I want everybody else to be able to furnish a new house, if they want to get out of a job, if they want to pay off debt, or whatever that looks like, your why evolves. But these are the things that keep you in the game, right? When someone unfriends you, when someone unfollows you, when someone judges you, when someone returns their box, right? Like, life is going to happen. What keeps you in the game? And so part of that, thank you, Marla, part of that is knowing why you do what you do. Like right now, my boyfriend wants to watch the Broncos. It's preseason. I really could care less. But he's like, the Broncos are on. I'm like, yeah, dude, but it's like day one of the 90-day game plan. Like, tell me what happens. I got calls to make and people to reach. You've got to have something inside of you that just makes it easy to eliminate the distractions. I've got 4 girlfriends that are like, oh, you were gone last week. Can we go to happy hour this week? No. That is not getting me closer to where I want to be. I've had a lot of happy hours. Those happy hours are going to be there. But right now I want to do these coaching calls. Right now I'm onboarding 2 rock stars from the UK, right? I'm helping all these other people with their goals. That's my why. So Ken, thank you for sharing about your why. I love it. If anybody else is comfortable, Samantha, that's great. I love it. Like, what is driving you right now? Like, why are you going to make these calls? Why are you going to get out of your comfort zone? Why are you making these sacrifices? I think it's awesome to put it out there because we can pray for each other. We can put the good energy out there. We can lock arms. We can support each other. And it keeps us as a really strong community knowing that there's other people out there looking for this. So when Kristen wants to pick up the phone and be like, oh my gosh, this girl's going to think I'm selling her. What if she hangs up the phone on me? What if she doesn't, and she can go, oh my gosh, like Samantha is like really, really supporting her family with Isagenix. Hey, Barbara, could you not share your screen though? Thank you for putting that up there, but if you can just use the chat and actually cancel the screen share, that would be great. I don't even know how someone else was able to do that as not being the host. Barbara, if you could just put it in the chat, but actually click cancel screen share, that would be amazing. I don't even know how to cancel that on my end. Thank you. So I love the chat. So anyway, so what I was saying though is, if Kristen knows Samantha's why, instead of being nervous, if this person's like, what if she sells me? Kristen can pick up the phone being like, you know what, this person might absolutely be looking for us, right? I could be the person who's answering her prayers right now. And as you show up on the call a little bit differently. So the other thing that I had really suggested was setting out some business hours, right? And just getting clear on when you're doing Isagenix, but also what you're doing during that time. So in one of the coaching calls today, one of my, leaders, she was like, I'm so proud of myself. Like, I've blocked out business hours. I was like, cool. What are you doing during them? And it's one thing to say, like, I'm going to the gym, right? Monday, 6 a.m., I'm going to the gym. Tuesday, 6 a.m., I'm going to the gym. But think about the difference as the person that goes, Monday, I'm doing legs and cardio. Tuesday, I'm doing, shoulders and hip. Wednesday, I'm doing core and arms. Like, if they have a more specific plan, and you can look and say, am I doing more weights? Am I doing more cardio, more upper body, more lower body? Is it all balanced? And Isagenix is the same way. If you look at your calendar, are you doing more busy work or more income-producing activity work, right? Are you spending more time recruiting and enrolling or more time developing your people? Or is it a combination? And so I'm encouraging you guys, once you have your why, start to block out those business hours and get really clear. If you guys looked at my calendar right now, you'd be like, oh my gosh, she's the most type A OCD person. And I'm not, but I'm organized because it makes you efficient. So like blue, purple, that's color on my calendar is all the mentoring. So any team calls, any of the 5-week coaching calls, those are all in that color. Pink, that's my color, that's my personal stuff. If I have a nail appointment, if I have a massage, if I'm going to happy hour, that's all pink. Red is income producing. That's my recruiting. That's me combing the tree. That's me talking to inactive people. That's creating consultants. So I want to look at my calendar and in a snapshot, be like, do I have more red or do I have more purple? Right? Like that fast, because honestly, you guys, if I were to ask to see your calendars, I would have a very good idea of what your Isagenix paycheck would look like. You know, like I know it's a kind of aggressive saying, but it comes from Eric Worre, not me, but I think it's true. Show me your calendar and I'll show you your bank account. If your calendar is full of, I'm going to post on social media, and your calendar is full of, you know, all these social life activities, or your calendar is full of podcasts, and your calendar does not have appointments on there, it does not have scheduled appointments and 3-way calls, belly to belly, whatever, your cycles aren't going to grow. Your PIBs aren't going to grow. So I want you to kind of get there. And if you need help with that, reach out to me, reach out to your sponsor. We will help you do that. So knowing your why is great. And I'm reading these. I love them. Jen and Adam, Kristen, thank you for sharing what you just did. Like these melt my heart. This is what fuels me so much today. Then getting clear. Now the next level that I really want you all to think about is like, what are your goals? And be realistic, right? So if you've got 1 hour a day, maybe 5 hours a week to work your Isagenix business, your goals are going to be totally different than someone who's doing this full time. They've got, 15, 20 hours a week, 4 or 5 hours a day that they're building this business, right? And I want you to be realistic with yourself because it will set you up for success instead of failure. So again, with health and wellness, because we all understand it, we're all health and wellness coaches. If someone has 50 pounds to lose, the reality that they're going to do it in their first 30 days, slim to none, like almost impossible. But we all know we could coach someone to lose 50 pounds in 6 months. Absolutely, done deal. That part's a no-brainer. So it's the same thing. For some of you that might be saying, I'm going executive, I'm going director. Heck yeah, absolutely. You can do that in the next 12 weeks. And I'm going to lock arms and help you do it. Now, some of you that are going, I'm going platinum, I'm maxing out this compensation plan, unless you're coming over with 3 million people from another company, it's probably unlikely. So think about what that is. And that's where that goal sheet in the ISOLife Success Manual helps you figure out how many new customers do you want to have, how many new consultants, how many new managers. And again, I'm going to invite you that if you are confused with that, if you're overwhelmed with that, reach out to me, reach out to your upline, reach out to one of your sponsors and say, I really want to do this, but I don't know what a manager is. It's okay. If you don't know what a manager is, how do you know how to create one? But that's a teaching moment for us to be able to say, oh, hi, Jules. That's a teaching moment for us to be able to explain what a manager is, so then you know how many to do it. But as opposed to looking at it and being like, yeah, I'm going to not fill that out because that's in ISO-Latin, reach out and say, I really want to fill this out, but I'm overwhelmed by it. I'm confused by it. I don't know what's realistic for where I am, and we'll help break that down. But I do want you guys to get real clear on like the number of launch parties you're having, right? The number of in-homes, the number of conversations you want to have a day or a week or a month. And I'm going to break down some stuff here in a little bit. I love that, Samantha, that you guys are going to have some tools, some guidelines, but I'm just kind of doing a big picture overview. Before I get into the KPI sheet that I made, and some of you just immediately went like, what's a KPI? I want you to think about two things before I switch gears here. The 4-week schedule of the 90-day game plan is the same, and we repeat 3 times. So we're breaking the 90-day action plan into 3 30-day sprints. So we started today on the 19th, 30 days from now, right? So it's like a week, 3 weeks from Sunday is the end of the first 30-day sprint. That's going to be a blitz week. We're all going to rank advance together. And then we're going to start again, right? We're going to do another 30-day sprint in that last week of that 30-day sprint. Again, it's week 4, so it's going to be weeks 4, week 8, and week 12. We all blitz. We all rank advance. And then we're going to do it a third time, ending November 17th, which is the end of the 90-day action plan. I'm going to be putting these events and Dreamers in action, but I want you guys to just know ahead of time that this week is all connecting, right? Next week is all like following up. Week 3, which happens to be the second week in September, is launch party week. And I want us all to be doing launch parties that week. And this is what I can tell you. In Colorado, I'm going to have one on a Wednesday, right? I'm doing one at my house on Wednesday. However, I want to go to you guys on all the other days and help you. So if I'm doing one on Wednesday, right, maybe on Monday, I'm going to go help Michelle or Heather Wiley and Michelle. You know, maybe on Tuesday, I'm going to help Vanessa. You know, on Thursday, maybe I'm going to go help Ashley. On Friday, I'm going to help my mom, right? On Saturday, I'm going to go help Alicia. And on Sunday, I'm going to do one with Carla. And I think like someone like Laura Lori can do the same thing, right? She might have an event on Tuesday, but she can help Chris with one. She can help, Michelle Bina or Ken with one, right? And what I want to do, and I have this vision, is everybody take pictures and everybody do some videos. And then I can have my project manager put a video together of basically all of us doing a launch party that week. All of us sharing the story. I mean, just think about all the lives we can bless and all the excitement, all the buzzwork, and all the FOMO that we can create if we all do it. It'll be the 3rd week of each 30-day sprint. But the first one is the 2nd week in September. Again, I'm going to have an event up, but I'm also going to do some incentives. So there's 2 ways I'm going to do the incentives. First of all, everybody that has an in-home, right, and does one with their team or some type of social sweat and sip, shop and sip, I'm going to be doing major raffles for products, for event tickets, for cash, because I want you guys to be incentivized to do this because I know they work. But I also am encouraging the people hosting the events, and I will be doing this, to throw out some incentives for people to come, right? So where I'm like, I'm fired up, like I'm going to max out this compensation plan this year, right? I love Isagenix. Everybody should come to my house. The reality is the people I'm inviting are like, dude, you moved to Kansas. I'm not driving an hour in traffic to come up there after I worked all day long. My kid is sick. My husband has a flat tire, and I really don't want to drink shakes for breakfast. Like, how in the heck am I going to get those people to my house? However, if I say things like to my leaders, every person that you bring a guest to, I'm going to give you a $10 Amazon gift card. For every guest you bring, you get a $10 gift card. So maybe where Ashley was like, man, dude, I don't really want to drive over there. She's like, well, crap, I need some stuff for my house, my new house. If I bring 2 people, I get $20 in Amazon. Now she wants to come. Now she wants to hustle. She's going to bring some people. I might do a gift certificate to a bomb new restaurant in Denver. I might do like an hour-long massage and facial like goodie, right? And say, hey, I'm doing drawings for anybody who comes to the event. But you've got to be present to win. There might be someone who is so stressed out, so overwhelmed, they really could care less about Isagenix, but they're going to come because they want a chance to win the massage. And then they meet our culture, and then they drink a shake, and then they fall in love with us. So I just want you guys to think about how to incentivize your team when you're hosting your event, how to incentivize guests. But no, I'm incentivizing all of you with some prizes for everybody who gets on board and does a launch party the 3rd week. Does that sound fair? Does that sound cool? If you guys are on board, type in the chat. I want to see who's going to do it. And if you have any fun names right now of things you want to do, like start to share them. You know, maybe you're going to do like a chili cook-off. Maybe you're going to do Margarita Monday. You're going to do Sangria Sunday. I'm doing Wine Down Wednesday. It worked really well for the first few years. I don't know why I moved away from it. I'm going back to it. Alex, do you want help? I'll come down and do it. Kristen Ronovic, if you want, I'm coming up to help you, whatever it is. But I mean, except for the night I'm doing mine, I'm going to be on the road. I want to put like 1,000 miles on my car that week and go all over and help as many people as I can. My leaders do the same for your team, okay? Share any of the ideas that you guys have. This helps other people do it. So this being said, are you guys excited about what I'm excited about this program? You guys are like, I don't even know, but you get excited when I get excited. I forever have been thinking, okay, we talk about like, are you walking in this business? Are you jogging in this business? Are you running in this business? People don't really know what that means. Like sometimes they're running, but like inorganically, because they didn't really choose to do that. They just got into momentum. They had people sharing for a while and they were busier, and then it kind of stopped and they're like, oh, well now I'm walking, but not by choice. They just didn't really know what to do to keep it going, right? Or there's some people that might be walking that want to be running, but they're a little bit unclear on what they need to do to get their business to grow a little bit faster. Does that make sense? Does that agree? Has anybody experienced that? So then on the coaching side, I have always heard these things in the company, like match energy for action. I'm like, what does that mean? Right? Match energy for energy. Like, what does that mean? And, if you think like, oh, well, if Danielle gets 2 people, I'm going to talk to her. But if not, I'm not going to talk to her. Well, you're really looking at what's the effort behind that. We can't guarantee there's going to be enrollments, but is she coming to events? Is she putting her team on events? Is she doing 3-way calls? Is she doing ATMs or whatever? And you figure out where you are. And I have been working really hard the last few days to put this together, not only so that I have some type of criteria to measure the input from the team, right? To measure the energy that you're investing into your business, but also so that I can have some clear expectations or boundaries of what I'm able to give back. As our team is growing, you guys, we were like 11,000, 12,000, we're coming up on 13, we'll be at 15,000, like halfway through the 90-day game plan at this rate, we'll be at 20,000 by NYKO, hopefully. Like that's the vision I have. And part of me is thinking like, okay, so if there's someone who did a launch party every single night, they're enrolling all these people, they're going executive, they're in all kinds of momentum that needs a ton of support. Where's the line to be like, okay, you want to help the person that enrolls one person every 3 months, but like there isn't enough time to get on the phone and answer all the questions. There's not enough time to listen to all of the excuses or everything else if they're not doing X, Y, Z, because you want to be pouring into the people who are really hustling. Does that make sense? So what I was trying to do is create something that would say, hey, if you want to be a walker, right? If you want to make some little part-time income, a little bit of a side hustle, here's the things to do. And here's what your upline or your sponsor can do in return for you. Now, if you want to jog, you want to have a more part-time side hustle, consistent income, right? But you still have a full-time job or you want to play at a part-time level. Here's what this looks like. And here's then the coach's commitment. This is what your upline or sponsor or leader or mentor is willing to do for you, up until if you're like, I'm game busters. I'm trying to quit my job this year. I'm in it. This is my only source of income, whatever it is. This is what this looks like. Would that be helpful for you guys to see something like that? Okay, so I'm actually going to share my screen now. And I might have to scroll a little bit so you guys can see the whole thing, but know that this is a Google document. You guys don't have to take pictures of it. I'm going to post the link up tonight after you see it. Hey, Tony or Lars, because you guys are the people I can see in my window, can you confirm, shake your head yes if you can see my screen? So you're looking at where it says level 1 or 100? Okay, perfect. So this is basically, and I'm going to have to scroll here a little bit because it doesn't all fit in the screen. But if I think about what I'm calling level 1, because walkers just isn't very fun. It doesn't mean that there's a cutoff, like, oh, if you made $550, suddenly you're in level 2. But it's kind of just an overview of saying, here's some part-time income earners, right? Here's like, this is the people, and it might be some of you or some of the people you bring in that say, you know what, like, I don't really want to get on team calls. Like, I'm not interested in hosting in-home parties, but I would like to get my products paid for. If people ask me about it, that's cool, right? Or maybe I'll do a Facebook post. This is those types of people. They don't really have a lot of skin in the game. They're not really interested in doing a lot, but we still want to support them. So like, this is the thing that they should be doing. They need to know their why, right? They need to make sure when they're enrolling customers, they're converting them to associates, that they're aware of isagenixbusiness.com. You guys, Isagenix Business has everything on there that they need, right? That it's like they just even know about that. You're saying, hey, there's this great website that will teach you how to connect. It will teach you about the objections, that they're aware of that they know our team calls are on Monday nights, and if they can't hop on, that there's a recording. But these are like very, very, very part-time things that this is the expectation, right? So this person is not going to do their income producing activity sheet 3 by 3 by 3 5 days a week. They're not. They don't want to. But then me as their sponsor, right? Or Jen or Laura or Kisa as their sponsor, they don't have that expectation that they need it to be done either, because they're like, hey, if someone asks, I'll share. And if not, no big deal. So is it realistic that they could do that income producing activity sheet once a week? Or maybe they're just trying to tell one person a day, right? Like that's kind of the playing field that this person's in. I think everybody should get to a Core 4 event, see our culture, be a part of personal development. So we're talking about it. I think they should go to 1 in a year. And then if you start to see here, what is the things that the upline or the sponsor or the mentor is willing to do? Okay, well, first of all, there's team calls available to you, right? If this was me, if I enrolled Susie and she's like, hey, I need your help to build this business. And I'm like, okay, if you are in the IsaBody challenge, if you've downloaded the IsaLife app, if you are getting on our team calls, you're aware of isagenixbusiness.com, you know your why, you've been to an event, or you're getting to an event, right? Those types of things. I say, hey, I'm willing to put you in a private Facebook thread that has all the level 1 players. So you've got a team of support. I'm willing to do a monthly call just for your level of leadership. I'll help you with 3-way calls. I'll help you with ATMs. And there's a team call every week that's available to you. You can get on live or you can listen to the recording. Now, here's what happens, you guys, and I want you to see where this is coming. Right now, there's people that will say, hey, I've got this girl that's really excited. Will you talk to her for me? And I'm like, sure, right? And I get on the phone. But this person has never been on a team call. They have never been to an event. They're not afraid of it, but I do the work for them, right? And they enroll this person. They don't really coach them. They go inactive. Where I'd rather be not getting on the phone for those 1 enrollments, but spending time with someone like Danielle, who has an emerging team, and teaching her how to develop her team. I'd rather be, traveling and doing events. And for these people that really just want to pass it on, it's like, well, I'll either do that for you, right? You can just refer the enrollment to me and I'll support them like my own. Or I want you to put this little bit of skin in the game. If I'm going to help you, if I'm going to do the 3-way call, if I'm going to do the ATM for you, I need to know that you're at least getting on the team call. I need to know that you are an associate and not a customer, that you use the IsaLife app. It's basic, but there's an exchange here of energy for action. So if we move on to level 2, everything so far is the same, right? You have the IsaLife app. They're in IsaBody. You make a list at the beginning of the week. So these people are saying, I want to make $1,000 a month. That's 5 cycles a week. There's some effort here. If you're trying to make $250 a week, and you need to ask yourself, if I was driving for Lyft or Uber, how many hours a week would it take for me to make $250? If you're bartending, how many shifts do you have to work at the restaurant? If you're nannying, how many hours do you work? And are you willing to put the same into your Isagenix business? So if you want to make $1,000 a month, which is $12,000 a year, that's a pretty generous raise for people that are doing this part-time. What do those requirements look like? And you guys, these are not set in stone. It was something that I just started to work on, and I wanted to have something foundational. We can always add or delete to this list. But, they're in IsaLife. They've registered in IsaBody. One of the things here is this person has a list. If Amber's like, I want to make $1,000 a month, I need to know on Sunday nights or Monday mornings, she's got a list. She just has a list of active people that she knows who to reach out to, who to follow up with, who she's converting to consultant, who she's trying to get to an event, that she's organized. Again, that they're on team calls, but now the IPA sheet, which is our 3x3, instead of once a week or like 1 contact a day, we've increased the expectation that we're doing this 2 to 3 days a week, or it's 2 contacts or posts a day. So it's not at a full-time level. However, if you're trying to make $1,000 more than level 1, you're going to have to work a little bit harder, right? You're getting to a core event. Of course, you know about isagenixbusiness.com. You have your why. Some of it's the same, but now this person's also tracking their leader in action form. So if you come over here, the coach's commitment, a lot of it's the same. There's going to be the team calls that are available, right? The upline or sponsor, myself, will help you with ATMs, will help you with 3-way calls. There will be a monthly level 2 group Zoom. But now these people get a weekly coaching call, right? In addition to their private Facebook thread, they get a weekly coaching call one-on-one, and it would be that I would help them with an in-home. So for people that have an inactive account, right, they don't get on team calls, they're not doing any training, they've never been to an event, and they're like, hey, I want to do a launch party, will you help me? No. And for me, no, because if they're not willing to do those very basic things, they're not going to do the hard things. So now at level 2, it's like, yeah, I'm absolutely going to drive to Fort Collins and help Emma and Kristen with a launch party if they want me to, if they've met these requirements, right? But if they're not doing those things, then I'm not driving for 2 or 3 hours to do the work for someone that isn't going to do the work anyways. The coaching calls, if I get on the phone, let's say it's Kristen, right? I'm not picking on her. I can just see her in my little window right here. And one of the things is to have her leader in action form. If she fills it out and there happens to be zeros on there, and I say, well, what happened this week? And she didn't really know how to rank advance her people. Now we have time on this individual coaching call to work on some development. Say she's a great enroller. She knows how to drive her volume to increase her cycles, but she's struggling with rank advancements, right? So in this opportunity, in this one-on-one coaching call, it can really help her develop her team. However, if the leader in action form is zeros and she's like, oh, I was busy and we were on vacation and the kids had XYZ and I just didn't touch my business this week, I can say, you know what, then I'm going to get off the phone and I'm not going to spend the time coaching you because you didn't do what I asked and I'm not going to do the work for you. Does that make sense? Do you guys see how this works? And so it's just outlined. If you want this business, put some skin in the game and we're going to pour into you. And if it's just not for you or at that level, then you kind of know the things you need to be doing to get that level of goals achieved. You guys will see this, and like I said, I'm going to post it. So, you know, in order to get that like weekly coaching call, I'm suggesting that they're hosting a monthly in-home, that they have an accountability partner. And at this point, you've mastered your 30-second story. Okay. Now, level 3, you guys, this is more than $1,000 a month. This is our 1 stars and above. You know, we're starting to think about it. Directors and above, typically, you're aiming for this. Even if you're not there, you don't have to be earning this to be able to qualify for someone's time, as much as just understanding what it looks like. Everything is the same, right? You've got the IsaLife app, you're in IsaBody, you've got a list at the beginning of the week, you're on the team calls, but now your IPA sheet, yeah, you're doing this almost every single day. If you're trying to build a full-time business, you have got to get to work every single day, just like if you were working a 40-hour week and you had to get to work every single day. You know, at this point, if you're a top earner on the team, you know, you're a striving leader, you need to be at 2 of the core 4 events. Not all 4, but it's NYKO and Celebration, or it's ICU and Celebration, or it's NYKO and UIA. If you're saying twice a year, I'm investing in myself, I'm investing in my team. You know, that you've got your LIA form. Maybe this is where you're going to your own networking events, or you're hosting a networking event, as you're expanding the pipeline. Again, an accountability partner. You're doing 2 in-homes, right? If you want to make $1,000+ a month, $2,000 a month with Isagenix, 2 in-homes. This is where you're going to see these people presenting on team calls, that they get used to being the training, that they're doing the leader activities. They're doing some of their own contests, whether that's free shipping, or they've got a top enroller contest for Lululemon or birthday cake. But if you see, now these people get a 30 to 60 minute coaching call, twice as long, because there's more things to cover, right? So we might be talking about leadership pools. We might be talking about driving the line. So if I'm trying to help Jen and Adam go from 3-star to 4-star, we're going to spend an hour on the phone every single week, because we need to know who's going manager, who's going director, who's going executive, who's going 5-cycle bonus, who's going 1-star. But if they have a team that size that they're making $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000 a month, right? Of course they're doing in-homes more than once a month, right? And again, there's going to be a Facebook thread in a Zoom call just for this level. But these are the people I would get on a plane and fly to. So there's some people that say, hey, will you come travel? Will you come help me? I'm like, you haven't been on a team call in 6 months. You haven't enrolled someone in 6 months. You haven't done your IPA sheet in 6 months. No, I am not flying to help you. However, there's some rising leaders that are crushing it, and they're getting on team calls. They send their IPA sheet, they send their LIA form, they're constantly enrolling, they're constantly rank advancing. Heck yeah, I want to go work with them. Like, how fun. So I'm going to post this, and I don't want you guys to think of this as like total black and white, like, oh, I didn't get all the yeses, so Lauren's never going to get on the phone and help me, right? Or I didn't get all the yeses, Laura's not going to get on the phone and help me. That's not what we're saying. But it's a way for, as we grow, to kind of say, you know what, this is where I'm willing to invest in you. This is where I'm willing to support you outside of what's available for everybody. But this is my expectation of you putting ante into the pot. This is that I need to know that you are just as committed, because I can't do it for you. And as that level of commitment grows, the level of business partnership and mentorship works. Does that make sense? I'm going to open up the chat here in just a second, but I just want to make sure I'm not overwhelming you. So the second tab, you guys, which I'm calling intentional recruiting. You've heard Jessica Rigner talk about, you don't want to just get everybody with a pulse and a heartbeat into your business. I love Isagenix. I love our Ionics. I love our shakes. I love the greens. I love the whey thins. I love the product, and I want everybody to eat it every single day. How much healthier of a world would we have if people just had some Isagenix into their system? However, selling shakes and whey thins and e-shots to everybody you meet is not going to attract in a Tina Kirkpatrick into your business, an Emily Vavra into your business, a Susan Sly, a Jessica Rigner, right? A Trudy Maples. You're not going to bring in these incredible leaders if you're not focused on the skill set. So if you think about a coach, right? Like this person's going to put together their Super Bowl team. They're not looking for anybody who can throw and catch a football. They're looking for people with certain qualifications, certain speed, certain agility, certain, success, whatever the tracking is, right? Same with baseball, same with anything. And I truly believe that when we get intentional with our prospects, with the people we're talking to, we're going to see a shift. And so what I've done here is put together on the left side what I look for, what's working for me, but then I've left it blank because our team shouldn't be the same. The same way, like my ideal partner is family oriented, right? Is into health and wellness and is compassionate and a good communicator. Like those would be traits of someone I'm looking for in a partner. Someone else might want someone who's really outgoing and really funny and really faith-based. So they don't have to be the same. So I'm putting them here as a guideline for you all to kind of see what are the things that I'm looking for? How do I bring in a Trudy Maples, a Laura Stevens, a Tina Kirkpatrick, a Jessica Rigner, but also a way that you can do it. So on your IPA sheet where it says intentions, right, your intention statement, this is where I am writing out. I am looking for stay-at-home moms that want to be with their kids full time, that are self-motivated, that are competitive, that are full of integrity and have a burning desire to change the trajectory of their family's life. I'm writing on there, I am looking for athletes who are competitive, who are driven, who are focused, and need to replace their pro athlete income and are looking for a network marketing business. I am looking for people that are confident, that are fun, that are outgoing, that don't care what people think about them, and are on a mission to leave people better than they found them. So when I am recruiting people and I'm looking for people on Facebook, I'm looking for people on LinkedIn, I'm looking for people in the core power class, I'm not looking for shy, I'm not looking for introverted, I'm not looking for timid. And do those people have a place in my heart? Yes. Can they use the products? Yes. But when we think about what got us here is not going to get us there. When we're looking at where this team is going, where this company is going, and we want leadership, for me, I am looking for these traits, okay? People that are coachable, people that have great customer service. But the other side is blank, because you might have things that are totally different, but I want you to download this and I want you to print it off and I want you to fill it in so that you can get clear. If you were to pick out your top 3 Isagenix celebrities, your top 3 leaders, maybe it's Zach Slobin, maybe it's Cindy Walter, maybe it's Susan Sly, maybe it's Lisa DeMeo, maybe it's Lynn Hagedorn, and you were to describe them. What are some characteristics that those people have? That's your list, right? If you want a Lynn Hagedorn in your business, how would you describe her? And then you get really intentional on looking after those people. So then if we keep going down here, and I talk about personality types, you guys know I'm big on strength finders. I want someone who's an achiever. I want someone that can cross off a to-do list, that can handle busy. People that get overwhelmed doesn't work for me because I can juggle a lot of things. And it's hard to run with someone who is constantly in a state of overwhelm. I had an idea and I go with it. Like I created this literally on a notepad on the plane on the way home. And 2 days later, this is what it looks like because I get an idea and I just roll with it. Now, I don't expect everybody to be like that. And I don't think everybody needs to find people like that. But for me, I go great with fast-paced people. So I want to find more activators. And I put bossy on there, right? Like when it's like, what do I do? I'm like, you do that, you do that, you do that. And not in a way that I'm superior, right? Or I want anyone to feel inferior. I can just see how we can be more efficient if 4 people take on a different part of the project instead of one person doing it all. The color code, I'm red. I love the reds in our company. Like I'm drawn to Emily Vavra. I'm drawn to Susan Sly. I'm drawn to Jessica Rigner, right? I'm all red. I'm a number person. I'm competitive. I don't have a lot of emotion. I just want to work. That's not going to work for people. So it's blank on the other side, because if you're a blue and you need a lot of compassion, a lot of empathy, and the emotion is what drives you, and maybe you're drawn to a white, more like Lynn Hagedorn, or more like Zach Slobin, or a yellow like David Wood. You've got to kind of know that about you and find those personality types that you're going to jive with, that keep this fun, that keep you like really lit up, right? So we think about like your ideal business partner, like that blueprint. What are those skills? If I was the coach and I'm looking for the best quarterback for the Super Bowl, I want someone who can throw a far spiral. I want someone that can run fast. You're looking for a certain size, a certain weight, a certain, track record. I'm not going to just take anyone that says like, hey, I'm the next Peyton Manning. I'm the next John Elway. Like, that's not going to work. But we do that with our Isagenix business, right? Like, hey, I'm going to be the next Isagenix millionaire. But have you put in the time to learn the skills to do this? And are you attracting in the people that have the skills to do this? So people that have a great sales background, people that have good business acumen, people that are natural leaders, people that have great marketing, people that have good time management, can weather their emotions, are strategic thinking. These are the qualities you're looking for, because they're just looking for the right vehicle. But if you take some people that have poor time management, right? They can't lead themselves, let alone anybody else. They're super worried what everybody thinks about them. They're very afraid of sales and afraid to close and don't know how to overcome objections. It's going to be a struggle. Does it mean that they can't do this? Of course not. But if you're looking for your key players, I'm trying to give you a roadmap of how to identify them. Try to identify who you're running with. And then the last little bit here, and I debated if I was going to put this up here, but I think it's very important for you guys to see. You also need to be able to identify your red flags. So if I think about dating, right? Like, I dated like every jerk in Denver, I feel like, for many years. And I knew it up front, but I tried to look the other way. Like, you see it, right away, but I'd be like, oh, they're going to change. Oh, I'm going to fix them. Oh, they're going to grow out of that. No, believe what people show you. And if I look at some tough leaders, some people that have caused a lot of drama in the team, there were signs right away, right? So people that are not coachable, people that want to do their own thing, people that are not willing to do the work. I'm too busy to call people. I'm too busy to do a launch party. I'm too busy to do 3-way calls. I'm too busy to do ATMs. And you're too busy to make 6 figures a year. It's that simple. If people want to have a victim mindset, poor me, poor me, poor me, poor me, or there are people that can find the silver lining. You know what? It's tough right now, but I'm grateful for XYZ. Like, those are the people I want to run with. Not like, oh, poor me, life is terrible, everything is always happening to me. And so when you find those red flags, right? Like, gossip and toxicity of personalities is a huge one for me. Like, if you're gossiping, I'm done. Go work on yourself and then come back. I'm not going to mention you why all you want to do is get on the phone and talk about other people to me, okay? But here are the ways that we can ask questions. So as you're getting to know some people, if you ask a question, if I ask Paula and Brad, hey, tell me a time in your life where things were going great. Everything was amazing. Things were on momentum, like everything was driving. Everybody can answer that question. But now if I say, hey, tell me a time when things were going rough, right? Like, you were frustrated maybe with your work, with the family situation. If they answer in a way like, oh my gosh, and they did this and they did that and they did this and that, and it's really because of them that all of that happened, you see crystal clearly that personality type, as opposed to them being like, man, it was rough, but because of this, we came together and we rose above. Or even when the times were rough, we persevered, we focused on this instead. You can ask a question and find out really clearly if you have victim mindset people, or if you have people that are focused on gratitude, if they're focused on the silver lining. You can ask questions about, like, what did it feel like when you hit a goal? What did it feel like when you missed it? Did you quit? Did it make you work harder? And so these are just examples. You guys do not need to do the same thing. That's why it's blank on the other side, so that you can come up with your own. But I know there's some strong Christians on this team. And if it's important for you to run with faith-based people, ask people, do you believe in servant leadership? Do you believe in self-sacrifice? Would you be willing to pray with me at a tasting event? Would you be able to pray for me over my team? If that's important to you and they say, no, those are not your runners, right? If that's important to you, you're looking for people that say yes to that. If that's not important to you, that's not a question you're asking. So the point is for me to show you what is working for me, right? Like what I'm doing, but then also empower you to come up with some of your own. And the last little thing here is KPIs. Some of you may know what this is. Some of you may not. It stands for Key Performance Indicator. But in any business, there's ways to track closed business. There's ways to track warm leads and cold leads, right? And you're looking at trends. And a lot of times with network marketing, we're not growing because we don't know where to focus. We don't know where we're looking. So again, these are examples. They're not all encompassing, and there's a blank column so you can add to it. But I can ask someone, like, how many days this week did you do your IPA sheet? If it's 0 or 1, of course you're not going to have a growing business. If it's 6 to 7, your business is going to be growing. But there's more to just enrollments. Yes, can we track enrollments? Can we track rank advancements? Yes, the leader in action form is awesome. But we also want to be having the conversation, because if Chris, who's skilled and he's an expert and he's a leader on this team, has 20 chats a week, he's probably going to enroll 3 or 4 people. It's a numbers game, but he knows what he's doing. But if I have someone like Violet who's brand new and she talks to 20 people and she has 0 enrollment, there's no shame that she doesn't have any enrollment. She's doing the work, but now we have an opportunity for a coaching call to say, what are you saying to those people? What are the objections you're getting? How are you following up with them? What tools are you sending? And we can dig deeper because we're tracking. It's not that she didn't reach out to people, where sometimes I think as leaders, we go, oh, they didn't have any enrollments. They don't get my time. It's not just the enrollments we're looking at the effort. If someone has all those conversations, they'll merit all of my time, any of the leaders' time, but we're going to help them figure out then what's happening in the conversations to increase the conversion rate, that there's more enrollments. Other things to look at: how many events have you been to? How many events are you hosting? How many events are you getting your team members to? We know that getting people to events is the biggest return of investment in your business. So if you show up at Celebration as a 1-star and at NYKO, you're still a 1-star and you don't have anybody at the event, we know how, right? If you show up at a 1-star, but you've got 6 people at NYKO, we know you're going to be a 2-star by Celebration. And so it's just some ideas on here of where to really focus some of your time. So I'm going to stop the share for a little bit. And I want to reiterate a couple things. That I am gonna put the Google Sheet up there. It's a document, it's on the web. You guys can download it, you can print it, spend some time on it. This is not like the Dreamers in Action Bible, all encompassing. If you don't do these things, you don't get help. That's not it at all. However, it's a guideline. I think it's a way that sometimes you can find your pace in this business. So there might be someone like Ken who goes, oh my gosh, I'm not a runner, I'm a walker, I'm too busy, I have all these things going on. And he might look at that sheet and go, wait, I'm a level 3, I'm a runner. I can do all of those things. I'm already doing those things. And an opportunity to raise his hand and say, I need a little bit more help. I'm in. I'm gonna do all those things. So I want an hour-long coaching call with you every single week, right? And the opposite could happen. There could be someone like Ash that's going, yeah, I'm a runner, I'm level 3. And then she's going, you know what, I can't commit to that right now. I'm dating, I moved into a new house, I'm doing some home repairs, like whatever that is, like I'm not committing to that. And she knows the things that she's got to do, and I'm willing to give her a 20-minute coaching call, not an hour-long coaching call. Does that make sense? My team, my ideal team is not Alex's, it's not Kari's, it's not Gita's. We all date different people. All of our friends look different. We eat at different restaurants. We work out differently. Our teams should look different. That's the beauty of it. The idea was to give you some framework of how to find the people that you really want to run with. The people that are not just drinking a shake in the morning and have a pulse and a heartbeat, but really the people that are intentional about this, see your vision, that you guys start to create missions together as you're all building your own teams. Does that make sense? Okay, so I know it's a lot and I know it's late. So I'm gonna close with this. I want every single one of you to find something. Do it tonight before you go to bed if you can, or do it in the next 24 hours, that just fires you up, that you can play, that you can listen to, that you can read, that you can look at, that you can hold, that just gets you excited. So that when you don't want to call people, you can look at a picture of your closest friends all in white at the Crystal Executive Party and being like, that's why I do what I do. I'm finding the next executive. Okay, I want you to have a picture on your vision board that you can see so clearly, you know that that's coming true, that when you're tired, when 4 people have just unfriended you, when 2 people have blocked you and 6 people sent their packs back, you're like, nope, I'm going to Bora Bora. Not today. I'm picking up the phone and reaching out to the 7th person, whatever that looks like. So many of you know that I closed out my piece at Celebration with the This Is Me song. I have listened to that song every day, probably 10 times a day for 3 months. Like, I knew it the day that I was training. That's what I was going to do. I love it. It immediately puts me in a good mood. It immediately gives me purpose and it gives me passion. I was listening to it right before this call, right? I'm like, I march to the beat of my own drum. This is me. This is me. I'm okay telling you guys that I've got a list of intimidating red qualities, right? Because that's me. This is where I'm going. But I want you to find what makes you feel good. And what makes you feel good is a picture of Disneyland with your family, with the VIP pass that you don't have to wait in line, and you want a whole team full of sensitive people and emotional people and everybody who's just loves the culture and the family of all this. Like, it's awesome. There is no right, there's no wrong. It's meant to be a guideline. So as you get clear on your business hours, as you get clear on your goals, hold on to something that just makes you tick. Just gives you a little bit of a spark. Because if you're not having fun in this, you're doing it the wrong way. And when all of you started, it's because it was fun. And that's what I really want to just bring back, that no matter what you're doing and how you're doing, it's fun. You're excited to go to that event. You're excited to do the launch party. It should not be like, oh my gosh, I have to do a launch party today. I want it to be like, oh my gosh, I get to have 10 people over and share the Isagenix story tonight. Do you guys feel the shift? So I keep telling people the buzz is back with Isagenix. Isagenix kind of went, and then they like get this like, some people from corporate left, we didn't have new products, or what's happening with the company. The company is not going anywhere except vertical up right now. And I've been saying it for months since Top Achievers, the buzz is back, right? Josh Plant, we've got Lori, like the marketing team, the product labels are changing, like the promotions are there. Like, we just got to lock arms and go. So I love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing first week. Take a peek at this, reach out to me and say, hey, I'm level 2, get me on your calendar for a coaching call. I'm level 3, get me on your calendar. You know, I'm level 3, book your plane tickets, come fly and work with me, whatever that is. And continue to work with all of your leaders and sponsors and upline and downline and crossline, because we're one amazing team. I love you guys. Good night.